Hi, this is Alan Edwards, and this is the second in the series of videos on using StartLine. This will be focused on the start. We went through setting the time, pinging the marks, and setting the targets. And now in order to show that, there is a function in this to review a previous start. So it'll take, of all the starts, assuming you cross the line and wait the 30 seconds that let the thing automatically switch. I think it only has to go 10 seconds. It will review of all of the start data. It'll find the last one and review it. So in this case, I just want to go through this screen, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the start algorithms. So here it's set for the start time, 8:06, the time until, number of minutes and seconds until the start. This is the burn time. 23 seconds was the time that you'd have to burn before you'd head directly to the line to start. And in parentheses, you're 78 meters away. And this is the burn time to the ley line, and I'll talk about that. And this little symbol means you're outside the box, and you're 12 meters from the ley line, and you'll probably see it go into an uncertain area. You don't know really, the program can't say for sure if you're inside or outside. And then at some point, it'll undoubtedly say you're inside the box, and we'll see that symbol. Down here is the reach factor, so the speed you're going relative to your target speed, and the reach factor here is 1.2, and I'll talk about that. And here the target, you're actually going 6.5 knots. The target 6.5 knots. You're going at 39 degrees to the line, and the target, which is 38 degrees to the line, is being adjusted. And the number here is the favored end. So with 26 seconds, committee boat is favored. All right, I'm going to go back here. Now I want to talk about the start. So we have the pin, the committee boat. This is the starting line. The wind's coming down at you. The wind's probably coming a little bit favoring the committee boat, but it's to get the 26 seconds. And so the concept of the ley lines, we have a ley line, let's assuming we're going to start on starboard. We have a ley line at the pin, we have a ley line at the committee boat, and we have a possible ley line in the middle. So when I came around and pinged my mark, the boat was here and it was going like this. It doesn't matter which way you're going when you ping, because the app will compensate for the speed and direction that you're going, because the pinging of the mark will be a little more than a second late. In other words, the GPS is just going to tell you where you were. It's just the nature of them. So we compensate for that. So you can go any direction. A lot of even the professional products want you to always go that way, and there's some advantage to that, but it doesn't really matter because it's compensated. But I ping there, and then maybe I go around and I'll ping here, but then maybe I don't want to start there because I wouldn't be on the line. So I'd see the distance in meters, that distance, and I'll enter that as an offset. I'll move the line, I'll move the pin or the committee boat or the line. I'll shorten the line by that amount, bring both of these marks into here, so my new ley line is there. So what do these things mean? First, the target is the overground speed that you're going to be crossing the line at, and the angle to the line. So 0 degrees would mean you're going right along the line, 90 degrees you're going square at it. And then the app will be aware of the current that you enter, and it will know then therefore the target boat speed over water that you have set. So if you're not going the direction that the target is, it will compensate with it'll know the boat speed, it'll know that maybe you're going faster because you're reaching, it'll add the current in, and it'll get the speed over ground over that. And it'll do that for basically any angle in there. It'll adjust, assuming some rough adjustment versus targets. So this speed, though, is entered. You have a reach factor, and that's one of the things you enter as a parameter. And I use 1.2. So that means that whatever speed over water that corresponds to the speed over land target that I've entered, I'll take 1.2 times that. That'll be the speed over water, and I'll add the current, and I'll get the speed over ground for the reaching. So the two different burn factors are, if your boat is, say, here, and say you're aiming for the pin ley line, you'll have two burn times. You'll have the burn that you'd have to burn before you just start heading to the line. And you'll also have the burn that would be how much you'd have to burn if you continue to go parallel to the line and hit the ley line and go across at that point. So where that's useful is if you're trying to set up and you're going away and you want to know when you're going to turn around and go back. So what I do is you get a certain point and you know it's going to take you 30 seconds to turn the boat around and head back. Another boat might be 10 seconds. You really have to know what it is for your boat. And when you get to that number, you turn around and you head back, and then you wait for things to settle out, and you'd like to see the burn time to the ley line equal to 0. And if it's not, you need to adjust your course or burn a little more, or head a little closer to the line to unburn some time to the ley line. And basically, if you go this way, it'll take you longer than if you go this way, so you can make up some time. And if you go this way, it's going to take you longer, and those can be used to adjust the burn times. Next, I want to talk about target speeds. So, as I said, when you go across the line, the target speed, including whatever current you have, is the speed over ground. That's the target starting speed, and the angle is the angle to the line over ground. Now that's not the target speed of the boat normally thought of. Normally that would be over water. So that's all considered. All of the target speeds and all are back calculated, taking the ground speed and backing out the current to get the water speed, and all adjusted for whatever angle you're at the time. But what if you're not sailing at the target speed? What if you're going along here and you're going at not 1.2 times the target, which is the reach factor, but what if you're going at, say, 0.6? So if this is a graph here of time versus speed, and this is the target, and we'll just reference to adjusted whatever angle you at the target that you should be going at that angle, if that's the target. And if you're going this speed, what the algorithm will do is it'll assume that you take a certain amount of time, called the time constant, to get up to the speed, the target speed that you've entered. So that's one way. And then, of course, as you get very close to the start, you're basically going to be using the actual speed because you don't have time to get up to speed. But what if you're going faster than a target? You can't go faster than a target in a boat. You can go slower because you could mistrim the main, for example. If you need to burn time, you might do this on purpose, or you might be making turns or S-turns, and you might be going slow, or maybe you just made a turn. So that's fine. But if you're going faster than the target, that's impossible. It means your target's wrong. So it's not going to take you back down to the target. It's going to assume that the wind has picked up and you're now going faster than target. And basically the algorithm does everything it can to avoid being early or late. It takes all the information that it can and makes adjustments. Now that we know what's going on, we'll go review the start. And this takes a while to load all of the data that's in the start log. And then when it's all loaded and processed, we review it. So I've turned the sound back on. So we can see that what we're doing here is we're going more or less parallel to the line. We have burn time to the ley line, we're right on. So
ley line burn 1 outside.
So we're happy with that, we're outside. We're headed for the committee boat. There's a committee boat start. You can change that with this pin, or with this button. We know we want the committee boat because we've got a 26 seconds
to start.
Advantage. It's telling us
burn 17 outside.
Burn 17 seconds before
burn
we head to the line.
Outside. 50 seconds to start.
I'm going to turn this off.
Burn 9 outside.
So it's going to tell us the burn time to the ley line, and then when you get inside a certain amount of time, it's going to start to talk about the burn time to the line. And here it's about ready to turn, so now you can see this number should be going toward 35 because that's our target angle, and we're a little late turning, it looks like, and so correspondingly we're maybe a little late on the burn time, but that's coming down, so we're maybe going to adjust our angle a little bit. We're going a little bit hotter. 2 seconds. Boom, we're 5 meters from the line. So that was a pretty good start. And then and now it says we are racing. So this
3 minutes to mark. Ground mark to starboard.
You can see that it automatically switches.
Right 45.
I'm going to turn the sound off again. It automatically switches to the race mode. You don't have to touch this thing ever during a race unless you want to change the way it's the parameters are set. The wind, for example. So it's telling me different things here, the target, and we'll go into that when we get on this screen. But that's the starts. Thank you.